Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Smackdown review. Yes, we're doing Smackdown reviews again with us, the British Fist.
Gotcha.
Mr. Parkin here. This guy sitting next to me, people. The guy who's not in yellow, it's none other than NJ.
What's up?
And because NJ did that, you guys will subscribe, you will like this video, and you will comment on your thoughts down below. Not forcing you or anything, though.
And you will join us in this Sunday's live stream.
Indeed, we're going to be talking about the big event of the year, Wrestlemania, in this live stream from 10 till 12 GMT. I believe that's 5 or 6 p.m. American time. I don't really know. Go check it out for yourselves, but it should be a lot of fun. Us doing a live stream. Give us, come with your feedback and your questions about Wrestlemania, and we will respond.
But be aware, when we do this live stream, stick to the title of the topic, because if there are any non-related, we'll just go straight past for this live stream.
Indeed. So give us your thoughts on Smackdown in the comment section below. It's time for us to get down to the in-ring action and booking portion of this review, which is generally very short, much like a Mark Henry squash match. So we got 6 matches on this episode of Smackdown. The first match was a Mark Henry Zack Ryder squash match, as he probably should be.
Over.
Pretty much. Ziggler versus Kofi was our second match. We've seen it many times before that. We've just seen it on Raw. Now we're going to see it on Smackdown. At least Ziggler gets another win, I guess.
Again, that's what it really was. Ziggler getting a win to progress him ready for his cash or whatever's going to put Mania. The match, you do expect it to be okay, but again, we'd seen it before, so we knew what we was expecting.
Yep, Ziggler needs to beat pretty much people that are buried in order to get a victory. He can't really beat a top star like a Sheamus or an Orton or anyone like that. Kofi Kingston is doing the job for Ziggler lately. Chris Jericho versus Jack Swagger was our main event match. This was last week's main event, and these two always put on a good match.
I want to say this. What I'm going to quickly say, we'll go into more detail later, is that this match, yes, we've seen it before, but with it being the build-up to WrestleMania, you do expect these to both look good, and I think putting these two against each other will warm them up.
Yes, and Swagger gets the victory here, and we'll tell you why in the character enhancement and storyline advancement section of this review. Rhoda Scholars versus Brodus Clay and Sweet Tea ended in a DQ.
Next.
Miz versus Cesaro, a match which we've seen how many times now?
And Miz wins by submission, so I thought that was quite clever, because they're really bringing this figure 4 thing, really making this Miz and Ric Flair thing pile up road to something.
Even though he's not there. But either way, Miz beats the US champion. You've got to wonder what they have in store for Antonio Cesaro right now. In the main event of the evening, we had the Sheamus, Big Show, and Randy Orton versus 3MB. What a main event. This is all about trying to make them all work together. Sheamus gets the pin after tagging Big Show after he knocks out Drew McIntyre. 3MB in a main event, that really wants to make you shoot yourself, doesn't it, NJ? So the top 3 matches, you'd think that we're getting a lot of build by WWE. Rock and Cena, Triple H and Lesnar, Punk, Taker, all got video packages again from Raw.
I'm expecting the big stuff like this. Hopefully, on the Go Home Show week, both shows gets a bit of Raw, a bit of SmackDown wrestlers on both shows.
It would be nice if they had, like, maybe John Cena appear, or CM Punk appear, maybe Undertaker appear on SmackDown, but I guess they were going to save all that good stuff for Raw, kind of like they did with the Del Rio and Swagger thing with the breaking of Ricardo Rodriguez's leg. All the good stuff happens on Raw, unfortunately. Rhoda Scholars and the Bellas versus the Funkasaurus and Sweet Tea and Funkadactyls. That looks like it's going to be a match made for WrestleMania after the segment we saw on this week's show.
Repeat.
Team Hell No versus Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston didn't really get much build on this show, did it? We had a Dolph Ziggler winning a match, Langston laying out Kofi. That was really about it. No sighting of the tag champs.
No, I'm still thinking they've got the match set. They haven't really got a strong reason why this match is happening. They just throw it on the card just so you got these 4 wrestlers at WrestleMania, even though Ziggler should go in a different direction and the tag champ could go in a different direction. So I do still feel that if this match is going to happen, you need to use the amount of time you've got to make this match have more of a reason.
We got more teasing of the Miz versus Barrett feud. It was one of those segments where they had Miz in a match against Cesaro winning his match, Barrett on commentary, Miz wanting the heel to come in the ring and the heel just holding up his belt and moving to the back. Quite simple, not really like a big segment or anything.
I'm going to say this, every time we mention Barrett in any show, I feel that the booking of Barrett is not where it should be. From the Nexus the first time round to now, he should have continued being that top heel, thinking he's all that. And right now, as we've said many times, the heels that we want to do good are being booked in a real bad way.
I've said this many times about Wade Barrett, not only on his return, but he's just done a movie as a badass heel. So why can't they book him like a badass heel on WWE like they would do in the movies? Why does he have to be like a coward heel? I don't get it. I just think that WWE are really missing out on an opportunity here, especially seeing as Barrett's just been in a movie, Miz has just been in a movie. You would think that they'd be maybe using this as the launching pad for this feud. Just saying. The Henry versus Ryback feud was furthered along on this SmackDown. You had, after Henry's beatdown, you had Ryback come out and they had that little face-off and the clotheslines Mark Henry out the ring, showing that he can actually clothesline Mark Henry. And it may have been the canned heat here, but the Phoebe Moore chants were very, very loud during this face-off between the two.
The thing that really stood out to me more was just the fact that Mark Henry, the way they keep him in character, keep him the dominant one, keep him as nothing can beat me down, nothing can take me down, I'm going to destroy you. My main concern, yes, Ryback's the future, but the fact they're keeping Mark Henry as the big dominant guy, I think that's why this feud is something that I'm looking forward to.
Definitely looking forward to this match at WrestleMania. I like how Mark Henry, when he was facing off, he's like, you're nothing. You know, that really is a good way of getting yourself over as a heel. Del Rio and Swagger, they don't really do that much. I mean, they had that segment on Raw with Swagger breaking Ricardo Rodriguez's ankle. You'd have thought they'd have followed that up a little bit. We've got no Del Rio on the show. I thought this was going to be the big angle on SmackDown. It's turned out that it's being the Shield now.
It's like we said many times. It looks like they're going to probably do the whole Del Rio Ricardo thing on Raw. This is just obviously to get the Swagger little moments, because we know that Del Rio's made it. He's been the World Heavyweight Champion. He's done this, he's done that, while Swagger's still trying to rebuild himself. But I still feel this, out of all the main matches, the SmackDown World Heavyweight is failing the most.
I think in the sense that everything's happening on Raw and not really too much is happening on SmackDown in that sense. On this show, all we had was like a pre-match promo with Seb Coulter cutting a promo saying what happened on Raw was necessary to Ricardo Rodriguez for Swagger's America, and how it's a wake-up call to all the people that will disagree with him. You had Swagger once again beat Chris Jericho for the second week in a row, so you're making him look strong, but no real interaction there, which you would kind of expect, as the World Heavyweight Champion is SmackDown's championship, not Raw's.
And that's the thing, so that's what we're going to go into next, because with this, I feel that Chris Jericho at the moment, he had that big feud with CM Punk. It was all about making CM Punk look good. A big guy like Jericho putting over Punk. He's now coming back another time round. And again, as we just said, he's lost to Swagger twice. And when are things going to be going in Jericho's favour, so the fans who are behind Jericho can rely on his wins and think he's actually a threat?
I tell you, at least unlike most veterans, like, for example, The Rock, at least Jericho knows how to put over talent. I will say that, even if he is losing. Speaking of Chris Jericho, I think the biggest feud on this show, apart from the Shield angle, was probably the stuff between Chris Jericho and Fandango. This was done during the Our Main Event. You had Fandango bring out his entrance to the Our Main Event match, and during Jericho's match with Swagger, he takes out Jericho and allows Swagger to get the win. Then post-match, you have Fandango assaulting Jericho and hits him with that leg drop.
And that's the thing. This is the thing that stood out for me weren't really the fact that they were continuing this feud. It's Fandango actually did a wrestling kind of maneuver, so it shows that yes, it's gonna happen. He's gonna step in the ring with Jericho, and the fact that he hit what possibly could be his finisher, I feel that that was needed, and obviously it's opening the door for Jericho to fight back on Raw.
I love this Fandango character, I really do. I never thought I would. As soon as I saw this Fandango thing, I didn't think I would like it at all, but I'm actually starting to like the character right now. Fandango! See, I can say the name right. That's right, Big Show. That's right, all the people that can't say it right. Mr. Parkin can say the name right, you can't.
The other person that could say it was Carly. Oh my gosh, he mastered that purr.
Yeah, he did, even though he can barely speak English. So the prospect of a Fandango and Chris Jericho match at WrestleMania, I'm guessing that's one that doesn't necessarily appeal to you, NJ? I don't know, I don't mind the match. I think the match is fine. I mean, you've got Chris Jericho who was on Dancing with the Stars. Fandango is a Dancing with the Stars ripoff, so it does make a little bit of sense why these two would actually feud if you actually play to that storyline.
We'll probably go into more detail in Sunday, our live stream. I'm going to bring it up again because it's about Mania, but for a quick rundown, I'm not behind it.
At least Fandango is actually getting some strongish booking as a heel. I mean, we've seen his great entrance. He hasn't done any jobs yet. He hasn't been made to look weak yet. Hell, he got one up on Chris Jericho of all people. So at least they're taking this new character and they're actually strongly booking him. It's just whether or not to see this, whether this booking actually continues onwards in the future. That's all. So for the second week in a row, the main angle on this week's SmackDown was involving The Shield, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show, who we found out has replaced Ryback in that 6-man tag at WrestleMania through the Miz TV segment, which opened the show. They announced that Big Show was going to be their partner, as I said, and they say that even though it's a matter of the fact they can't trust him, they need to do what it takes to survive. You have Big Show coming out and saying that they don't have to like each other, but they all have a common enemy, which does in a way make sense. They don't necessarily like each other, but they have a common enemy, and they're going to work together to try and rid of that common enemy.
Number one, the fact they've not really booked this match very well because the last minute changes, putting Big Show in, taking him out, putting him back in, Ryback going here, there. They've not really booked this very well, so they needed stuff like this. But the opening promo to SmackDown, you know, Orton's meant to feel like he's the top guy. Sheamus is meant to be the top guy. And they're all talking about, oh, we need to trust Big Show. We can't do it on our own. You know, we're going to need the big, powerful Big Show. And I'm just there thinking, oh my gosh, you're meant to be putting yourself there like Orton. I'm the Viper. I'm the Legend Killer. I can take anyone out. Not like, oh, we need Big Show. We need to know if we can trust Big Show. I was just laughing at this because I didn't really believe that they're believing in themselves. They're all putting on Big Show.
Shield! But the thing is, I mean, Sheamus and Orton, if they faced Shield 3-on-2, they couldn't get the job done. So that's why, well, I'm just saying, facing them 3-on-2, that's the numbers game, which is hence why they're trying to get Big Show in there, because they're trying to even it up 3-on-3. And as we've seen on SmackDown and this episode, seen on Raw and this episode of SmackDown, when Big Show's in there, the 3-on-3 works, and it means that the faces actually can get one over on the heels. So, I mean, I really don't have any issue. It was a standard SmackDown opening Miz TV segment, which has been overdone way too much. I don't have really too much issue with the way they did this. We get on to the main event itself. After the main event happens, where the babyfaces obviously go over, as they should have done against 3MB, you have the Shield coming out to the ring. The faces were fighting, and then as soon as the Shield actually get to the ring area, they actually form in unison to actually rid the Shield from the ring, and they never actually got into the ring, and they just end up retreating for the second show in a row. I mean, they've been booked pretty strongly, so they don't exactly look weak. They've been booked to beat guys like John Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus, etc. So they're not exactly looking too weak here, especially seen as the Big Show should be seen as a dominant force.
Again, really glad. Look, this is what I said at the beginning of this segment. It looks like the focus is more on Big Show, making Big Show look like the big one to watch out for, the big guy that's going to save the faces, beat the Shield. Maybe there's a reason for this at WrestleMania or after WrestleMania, but I do believe that obviously they're making the faces look just as strong as the heels have.
You know what's even worse is the fact that Randy Orton is the voice of reason in that group. It's funny to think that, isn't it? But anyways, that was the main angle of this show for the second week in a row. Seems like they're really putting a lot of emphasis into the Shield, and the WWE Swagger feud is kind of being dropped off to a point where maybe you could say Chris Jericho and Fandango is maybe the second biggest angle on the show. Don't really know. Anyway, do you have any final thoughts before we move on to the outro portion of this video, NJ?
No, I think we could wrap up here because, to be honest, SmackDown really wasn't that good.
Anyway, if you have any thoughts on this week's edition of SmackDown, please let us know down in the comment section below. We have been the British Fist.
Good.
To steal a line from Cream Crazy, you have been people watching. Make sure you tune in for our live stream from 10 p.m. till 12 midnight GMT time, where we're going to be talking about WrestleMania and the upcoming big pay-per-view event of the year. Be there or be square. Thank you very much for watching, and
thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.